What's going on, beautiful people? It's your boy here, Wesley from ACONNECTIONTV here on YouTube, the one place online where we adopt similar connections despite our differences. And welcome to Gay Men, I Have a Question. If this is your first time seeing me, do me a solid and follow me on Instagram and Twitter at ACONNECTIONTV. Also, my Facebook is at ACONNECTIONTV. And the little trailer that was at the beginning of this video, it promotes my online streaming network, which is a great house for gay men to watch some original scripted gay content. So watch that, support that, and subscribe to that. This month I have been uploading every episode of season 1 of The Mister. I'm going to be uploading every episode except for the last 2. And yeah, there are going to be a couple of surprises uploading on my YouTube channel. So what's up? Thank you for tuning in. Also, listen, y'all are really going hard on these videos, and I want to say thank you so much for pounding that like button. You guys have been giving me over 50 likes on the Gay Men I Have a Video series, and let's continue that with this video. People, definitely hit that like button. Let's get over 50 likes on this video. This particular Gay Men I Have a Question video is going to be about the discussion of masculine versus feminine. Why is that even an issue? In today's 2021, why is that even an issue, right? That's what we're gonna talk about. But before we get into that, I wanna do a recap. Y'all know I do my recaps. I wanna do a recap of the last episode, Gay Men I Have a Question, the definition of a top. So, I'm gonna do the top five questions from that video, and let's discuss it real quick. All right, wasn't a lot of comments on that one, which is cool, no problem. But let's get into it. Sam Light Shines says, labels keep us all boxed up. We simply need to converse about what we desire when we meet someone we want to be serious with. The interviews at the beginning of a relationship are vital. I agree. I agree. Let's see, is this a paragraph? Okay, nope, it's not. Tochi Danny. This is an interesting topic. I look forward to watching your video on the preference versus discrimination debate. We're going to do that. However, there are varying degree of femininity. Some guys are bang on in the middle, and some are masculine but have some visible feminine tendencies or expressions. But yes, it's all about preference. I also heard that in the States, I'm a Brit in London, Masc guys mostly don't associate platonically with femme guys. Interesting indeed. I don't know. We could talk about that. We're going to talk about masculine versus feminine in this video. Let's see. Jay Roberts. I was in a relationship with a boy from the hood. Things were good, but I took a trip to see family for 2 weeks after a year of being together, and when I came back, he switched his sexual role on me. I stayed in a relationship for another 4 years, but our dynamic seemed very off balance after the flip. Okay. TJ Kane says, I felt you labeled all bottoms as feminine. I am a masculine bottom who prefers to bottom, but I am not feminine. Okay. I didn't, but okay, if that's what you took from the video, cool. In that video, I was referencing a video that I saw of a feminine guy, and I was talking about the quote-unquote problems with that situation that the guy had in the video. So that's what I was referencing. Of course, all bottoms aren't feminine, and of course all bottoms aren't masculine, and of course there is what's the word I'm looking for? There are levels to, you know, the masculine feminine side of any gay man. So it is what it is. And the last one, perhaps you should also make a video on the income disparities between tops and bottoms. Should tops take most of the financial responsibility in the relationship if they are the dominant figure? Ooh, that's that heteronormative situation coming into play. Listen, great conversations, and I believe that we're gonna do a live version of this. It's probably gonna end up being Sundays at night, maybe. I gotta see if some guys are interested in having this kind of conversation with me. Before I get into this topic, definitely look below the video and hit up that Facebook group for Gay Men Travels and Conversations. We can definitely get into some things on the group. So definitely click the link below and join the Facebook group. Now this particular video, Gay Men I Have a Question, what is the issue with masculine versus feminine? I don't want this video to be that long because it could really be really long, right? And I'm speaking from experience. You know, gay people are not monolithic. So there are so many variations of us, which, you know, could create, you know, issues with the rest of the world trying to figure us out. But it is what it is. There's so many colors in the rainbow, and, you know, not one gay man sits in one color of the rainbow. We're just all over the place, right? So let's just get that out of the way. I think that is obvious, but a lot of people, they don't think that is obvious, and they think that all gay men are the same, or all gay men want straight men, or all gay men are, you know, whatever, are feminine, and we're not, you know? So let's talk about masculine versus feminine. Where did my issues start with a versus between masculine versus feminine? Where did my issues start? Let me give y'all my background and my story. This is not for everyone. This is not everyone's story. Okay? Let me clarify that. Okay? Gay people aren't monolithic. So it is what it is. This is my story, so I'm speaking on my story. Okay? But where my issues came from with my feminine side, right? When I came out of my mama's womb, I knew that I liked boys. I was around 5 years old when I was trying to get, I want to say his name was Louis, or maybe it was Johnny, or he was Hispanic, and I just can't remember his name. I think it was Louis. I think it was. But anyways, he was sexy. He was sexy as a mup. You know, he was sexy, okay? And I knew what sexy was to me at 5. I was 5 years old, okay? Listen, I was trying so hard to get at this boy. He lived right across the parking lot. And this is when I lived in the projects. Yes, I lived in the projects before. Yes, I know about the hood life and all that stuff. But he was right across the parking lot, and this is Bowes Park, Hartford. If anybody from Bowes Park, Hartford, Bowes Park knows what I'm talking about, then leave those comments below the video. But anyways, I just always thought he was cute, and there was just something about him that I liked. We always tried to play around, and we ended up like dry humping in my room. Yeah, this is me, a young kid dry humping in my room. My mother found this, and she was like, "No, you're not gonna be doing this in my house, no!" Okay, so I knew at a very young age that I liked boys, extremely young. My father wasn't there, and it was what it was. My mom was a workaholic at that time, and you know, I was always around boys, like, because all of the parents in the neighborhood had sons, so that's who I had to hang out with. It never could be around girls, but which was very interesting. You know, as I think about my childhood, what has always been interesting to me. Excuse me, I can't talk today. Is the fact that I always wanted to experiment or play with dolls. Like I liked dolls. I liked Barbie. I love Storm from X-Men. That is a great determining factor to figure out if someone's gay. If their favorite superhero is Storm, you know that they're gay. But Storm, Mistress of the Elements, was always my thing. I would always play with my G.I. Joes, but I would always have gay characters, and I would always be them. You know, My Little Pony, Rainbow Bright. That was all me. I was feminine on the inside, but masculine on the outside, and this is why. I had cousins that were straight, and my cousins and I it was just us in the family, like the three boys. Us in the family, we were all around the same age. And, you know, my aunt would come over, or I would go over there, and we would just always find a connection because we were cousins, and we were all the same age, and they wanted me to play with them, and I wanted them to play with me. But the only way that they would play with me is if we were doing boy things. You know, if we were exuding that masculine energy, that male energy, that testosterone-infused energy. So when we played with G.I. Joes, I couldn't play with Barbie. When they would come over to the house, they would ask me why I had My Little Pony, and that was just so funny to them, and I had to get rid of My Little Pony. You know, whenever I went to their house, I had to play sports, you know? And so that's where my versus with masculine and feminine came about, you know? Going back to the second video, the definition of a top, you know, the roles of a daddy and a mommy plays into that as well, because, you know, me being young and me wanting to, you know, deal with or be comfortable in the feminine side, I was a boy, so I couldn't do that back then. You know, I couldn't express myself in that way. You know, I tried my mom's heels like Jussie Smollett did in Empire. I didn't get tossed in a garbage can because my father wasn't around, but I knew that I couldn't do that in front of my mom, so I had to hide that, right? I had to suppress my feminine side for so long. Fast forward, high school, I knew that I couldn't be feminine in high school, so I was masculine in high school. I just stayed to myself. You know, I had grew out of wanting to play with dolls and got more into the artist side of me, you know, drawing and things of the sort. And that was like my gay safety net, because you could be a man back in the day and be into art and not be called the F word. You know what I'm saying? And so I found solace in my creative side. I am extremely talented and creative. So I lived in that, you know, and that was my blanket. I didn't have to worry about My Little Pony anymore. I didn't have to worry about Rainbow Bright. I could be an artist and it could be cool, right? But in high school, I had to find my masculine side and I had to be comfortable in my masculine side. And so throughout all of high school, that was me. I was the nerdy, artistic, talented kid that was masculine, and I was safe there. You know, all the macho dudes were cool with me, you know, because I wasn't a queen. And that became normal to me. It became regular to me, right? And again, I'm telling you why there ever was a versus with me in my life. I always had to fight against the feminine side of me to just be accepted in my immediate world, right? Me being in the projects, me being in Hartford, Connecticut. So that's where my verses came from. And so now as an adult, you know, masculine is sexy to me. Masculine is hot to me. Masculine is who I am, but I could come up with the best of them. I could act out with the best of them, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's in me. You know, I could be like, yes, what, what? You know, girl, he tried it. What are you talking about? Like, what? No, that's no, you know what I'm saying? But I could easily go into that, and I could easily come out of that and be Wes. I have no problem saying that Wesley today is, you know, a level-headed understanding of the world. I can turn the light on and off kind of a guy. But naturally, when you're around me, I'm naturally masculine. Naturally, you know. And I'm okay with that. I don't feel like I want to walk out of the house in heels or walk out of the house saying, girl, what? You know, whatever. I don't feel that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't come naturally to me to do that. But I can act out with the best of them. You know what I'm saying? Because there's and to what the guy said in the last video in the comments, there are degrees to it. You know what I'm saying? There are degrees to it. You can be throughout your day masculine, but you can have those moments where you show yourself and act out. If a beat come on in the club, forget about it. Forget about it. I'm what? You know, and Todrick Hall comes on, baby, it's a wrap, cause I'm snap, snap, snap. What's that song? Snap, crackle, pop, bitch. You know, come blink for me. Blink for these hoes. Blink for these. I'll be blinking. And the video, you know, I'll be doing it. But then, you know, when I'm watching TV, I'm just chill. You know, when I'm out about, I'm just chill. When people come up to me and they're like, yo, you're that guy from, I'm chill. You know what I'm saying? Because that's naturally where I'm comfortable. You know, and I've grown to appreciate and like and favor that side of me. We're in 2021 right now. And, you know, there are so many, even to this day, so many issues where people are having to find acceptance Not as much as we did back in my day, but even today, people are still having to find acceptance and solace within who they are. I think it's a lot easier for guys to do it now, and that's noticed. You know, you have people like Saucy Santana out here doing a damn thing. You have people like, Jesus, I'm so horrible with names. Big Frida, you know, out here doing the dang thing. Billy Porter out here doing the dang thing. But it's gotten to a point now for men like me where we feel like it's so oversaturated with the representation of the feminine side of the gay world that men like me aren't represented, if at all, right? And so that's another established versus that has been brought about because, you know, guys like myself feel like, well, when are we going to be represented in mainstream media? And we need more than just Empire to do that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's another conversation where people are like, oh, they're trying to keep the black man down by showing black men and as a extreme spectrum on the feminine side. And to be quite honest, that is another issue because, you know, it just goes back. It goes so far back with why the versus has been established in the first place. The fact that, you know, feminine is considered weak, is considered wrong, is considered out of pocket, is considered not okay, is considered not good representation of the black man, you know, or not good representation of men, depending on where you come from in your background. And that again, going back to my previous video, you know, the concept of the heteronormative status quo, mommy and daddy, and how man is supposed to be all the time and women are supposed to be, you know, the feminine side. It sucks that this is the world that we live in. It sucks that this is the established environment that we've been accustomed to for so long, right? But I think today, there are so many people going against the grain and making sure that we're represented in a positive light, in all lights, let me say that. Making sure that we're represented in all lights, that it's become not as problematic anymore. But there's still infighting within the community. You know, you could go online and all you see is no fem, no facts, no fems. You know, no facts, no fems, no facts, no fems. No facts, no fems, all the time. And, you know, going back to this one angry comment on my last video, oh, this is bull. It is all about light, what you look like. Okay, not all the time, brother. Not all the time. It just sucks that it comes up often. It sucks that it comes up often, no facts, no fems. But that's not everyone's story. And it's not all the time. Will we ever get away from Masc versus Fem? I don't know. Probably not in my lifetime. You know? Probably not in my lifetime. But here's the thing. I don't have a problem with being around feminine guys. If you followed my journey throughout YouTube, you know that I've been around feminine guys, okay? I have a good friend, I call him a brother, a young brother. His name is Devin from Chicago. You guys have met him. He is feminine. He has masculine tendencies sometimes, but he is mainly feminine. His degree of femininity, though, doesn't have him walking out the house in heels, lipstick, and a purse, fingernails done. His degree of femininity is full bottom, very sassy, very well put together, his voice is very high pitched. You know, he talks like this and like, oh my God, like, what are we doing here? Like, what's going on? Like, oh. Like, that's his degree of femininity, and that's him. I know that that's him. I met him that way, and to this day, he's still that way. I've never had a problem with Devin. Devin and I have never crossed paths where there was like an impasse where like, oh, you can't be that way. Oh, you can't be that way. I don't have a problem with being around Devin in public. You know, a lot of masculine guys, for whatever reason, have a problem with being around feminine guys. What you do and how you do with whatever it is that you got going on has no bearing on me. I wish majority of men were like that. I wish they were. You know, some straight men don't like being around gay men. Like, what you do and who you do and how you do it has no bearing on me. If I'm in a crowd of people and I'm the only masculine or majority masculine guy in the group, I don't care. I don't care. You know, what y'all do have no bearing on me. I just wish we had more people in the world that was like that. You know? But that's where the problem, that's where the verse is established. It's going back in time. It's deep rooted in our culture. And in my culture, and then I would say in gay culture, is deep rooted, right? It's deep rooted, and it stems from the heteronormative concept of daddy and mommy. Men are supposed to be R, and mommies are, you know, the mommies. But again, there are so many different levels to or in between the masculine and feminine realm with regard to gay people. I just, you know, so how do we deal with that, y'all? How do we deal with the masculine versus feminine? I'm gonna tell y'all this. If you are feminine, don't be insulted if a masculine man is naturally attracted to a masculine man. That is a problem with the verses. That's another verse issue where a lot of feminine men are like, oh, well, why don't you like me? Why you just want to go with a masculine man? Why are we questioning what people like? I don't understand why is that an issue. Why are we questioning what people like? You know, for me, I feel like that would be a valid argument or a valid debate throughout your entire life if there was not one man in this world that wanted to date a feminine man and all the men in the world wanted to date masculine men. You know? But that's not the case. There are plenty of men out there that want to date feminine men. There are plenty of feminine men that want to date feminine men. Y'all, but let me take that back. There aren't plenty of y'all. For some reason, this is another problem in the community. A lot of feminine men only want to date masculine men. Why? If feminine men are so amazing and so wonderful and so like, oh my God, why aren't feminine men dating feminine men? And then those feminine men wonder why we, as masculine men, don't want to date feminine men. What is that? Where does that come from? So there's a verses within feminine men. Where does that come from? I don't know. Preference. That's where it comes from. Preference. There are a lot of feminine men that prefer to date masculine men. There's nothing wrong with that. There are a lot of masculine men that prefer to date masculine men. There's nothing wrong with that. And hold on now. There are some masculine men that prefer to date feminine men. Oh, go figure. They exist. You just have to find them. And with all of like, well, not all, because a lot of comments weren't angry, but there was like that one angry comment, oh, this is bull. It is all about looks. No, sir. It's all about looks in your world. And can looks be a part of the conversation? Yes. Looks is the main reason why people walk up to each other is looks. But the personality and the energy keeps that person there or moves that person away, you know? And we just have to find the people that connect with us. And, you know, part of the reason, I'm not trying to make this a long video, but a part of that is changing your day-to-day, changing your routine, doing something different in life, moving. If you've been in the same state for 80 years and you have all these problems and been single for 40 years, move. Go somewhere different. Find a new space. Find new friends. Find new people. This world is so vast and big. Why are you keeping yourself trapped in your state complaining about how you've been single all your life? Uproot yourself. Change your life. Change your day-to-day. This is my 5th state that I've lived in. My 5th state. And out of all the states that I've been in, I miss New York the most. Florida had the best people for me, but Atlanta is the best career-wise. You know, not one state is completely perfect, but I wouldn't be who I am today if I didn't move. It just is facts, you know? And regarding the people that I choose to be around and the people that I have in my life, there's no verses with masculine versus feminine. I'm very accepting of all. I've actually dated a feminine guy. 2 feminine dudes, actually. So I don't have any infighting or verses within me. I don't. I really don't. Some of you do, though. I don't know why, but some of you do. And to all the feminine men that have issues, you know, find new people to be around. Find a new attraction. If all you want is a masculine man, figure something out about that. Figure out what that is and try to tweak it a little bit. Tweak it a little bit. I have dated every single type of man that I can imagine. I've dated them. I've never been with an Asian man though, never been with an Indian man. I've never even talked to a Latin guy. But I've dated white, dated black, various degrees and levels, feminine, bigger, thick, belly, no belly, muscular, thin tone, masculine. I've been through all out the spectrum. I have. And you know what's interesting is, well, that's another video. We're not talking about me. Listen, I want to know how y'all feel about masculine versus feminine. Is it a problem? It is a problem out here. Why is it a problem? Because of you. That's why it's a problem. Because of you. If you create all these barriers in your life and all these, you know, cry me a rivers issues within your life, you're making it a versus. And it will continue to be a versus until you stop it. You know what I'm saying? Until you fix what's within you. Also, on top of that, it's so deep rooted in our past and how we've been brought up that it's hard for older guys like myself to come out of it. You know, these younger kids out here, these 20-somethings, you know, they are, baby, that's a whole nother video. Anyways, leave your topics below, leave your comments below. Let's get 50 likes on this video so we can continue the conversation. Again, follow me on my social media, ACONNECTIONTV, Instagram, and Twitter, and go to the Facebook group. Let's talk about this in length some more. Leave your comments. I'm curious to know what you guys are going to talk about. My next video, I think, is going to be, why do gay men hate lesbians? I want to talk about it. I want to talk about this. Actually, there's so much to talk about. Anyways, let's get 50 likes so I can do the next video. Love y'all. Deuces.